Hey guys, I just want to talk about this. Like I said before, I will talk about this. What happened last year scarred a lot of my life throughout that year, and it still upsets me to this day. So basically, last year, a friend of mine, well, basically for the past 3-4 years, I had a friend who fell in love with me, and basically we started, starting to get a bit more into it. But then I started realizing the true self, her real self, and throughout that time it made things a lot more difficult. And during that time I also was going through a difficult time with one of my exes as well. I think I mentioned her as well in one of those videos in the past, but yeah, basically I wanted to talk about this because this has been going on for a year, and I just want you guys to understand why I'm so limited to these to this content of what I do nowadays, and the PlayStation 4 is the only way I can actually make videos nowadays. So it's again, it's very difficult, but you have to I'm trying to get on with it and just do what I can is right. So basically, if you do this in a relationship, I advise you to never send personal photos to friends if you're in a committed relationship. Anyone. I mean anyone. It is illegal to do anything like that. If it's sexual photos, it's a very illegal thing. Now, don't get me wrong, it's a very, very serious thing, because you can actually have your photos spread all across the world. Now, I was lucky, you see, because my details and all these things were directed towards my family. And she did that because of all jealousy, because basically me and my ex, this was way before Sarah, if you're thinking this, I pretty much lost a lot of respect in my family for about a year, and I lost a lot of that for about 6 months. And throughout those 6-7 months of the half of that year, I was depressed. Very severely depressed. I really hated my life back then. And I wanted that year to end. I absolutely wanted that year to end. And that is why, if you watch that yearly video that I always do, and if you watch the video that I did last year about what happened and what's been going on, I don't mention much about what happened. Now, it's been a year and I want to talk about it. So, that is why I'm trying to say this to everybody. My advice for those who are in a committed relationship and are doing things like this. Now, I got friends who do this all the time, and I got people, and I've told them to not do that. And because I know for a fact that I went through a lot of that. For those who helped me as well, they still do it to this day. So the only thing I want you guys to understand, if you're still young, and you're, probably in your 70s or 18s, never do this. I beg to God, you never do this. Because it's hard. Once those images are out there, you'll never get them back. They are in those people's hands once you're sent them. You probably might have learned a lot about this at school, but some people do not get that message. And and it can be very dangerous. And I know that because I went through it. And it still haunts me to this day. And that is why I want you guys to understand that what I did affected a lot of my life. I felt like police was going to hit me up my door at any minute. And I felt like I was going to get arrested a lot because of all that. And I'm a very paranoid person when it comes to stuff like this. And I really do get paranoid. I hate people when things happen. I absolutely hate people at times when things do like this happen. And when I found this out at college, she saw photos of us, like me and my other ex. We did like, basically we were doing Duke of Edinburgh at the time. We were doing bronze. And this was back in 2016. No, 17, sorry. I was doing this in 2017. So this all happened at the beginning of May. Like in between, yeah, somewhere between like the beginning of May or the end of May. It depends on where it is. I can't remember what date it was, but I had a friend that I cared and trusted about. But this year, she really let me down. She really, really did. I absolutely hate that she did this. And she really supported me. She really went through this. I absolutely loved the way she supported me. But she wanted to talk to the person who did this. That's my downfall. That's what I hated about her at times. And I said, I don't want to do it. But instead, I had to do it eventually. I had to go and open up to my demons and go through it. Eventually, we talked. And I was in tears for an hour straight. After 8 months after I haven't spoken to her. It took me almost a year to get her off my back. Not my friend, the other girl in fact fancied me a heck of a lot. It took me ages to get her off my back. A whole freaking year. I don't talk to her, and I'm not saying names, but it took me a year to do that. A whole year. It was so hard. You don't understand how difficult things are when things like this happen. And I was angry for a whole year. For the past, basically, not just say a whole year, a whole 3-4 months. Because of my ex. My ex, basically, we've fallen out a lot throughout the springtime. We eventually ended the relationship again. And then, following that, after the fight, before my birthday, last year, she was horrible to me. Like, she verbally abused me. And I was furious after that. I was horrible. Like, I was horrified. The way she spoke to me was just horrible. And I don't want anybody to give a backlash, because basically my family basically said to never mention her name or things like this. Even her family said the same. So I'm not saying whoever my ex's name is, I'm not saying that. But I will respect people's opinions, but I will not disrespect. Well, I will not respect abuse. I will not do that. And this is what I'm saying. So what I'm trying to say is, guys, if you're going through a difficult time after something that's happened a long time ago, and you feel horrified about the fact this has happened, I would go for help. I would get some help. Don't keep yourself in the dark. I did. I went to counselling for 6 or 7 months. It got me some places, but I wasn't in the best of places as well. I felt worse afterwards. And when I stopped counselling, I got better and I got stronger. And it was hard. So I will ask you guys again, if you are going through a difficult time, and I know it sounds depressing, but I want you to all to know that this is something I need you guys to understand. This is something I need you guys to understand, ideally, that this is happening. It's something you all need to know. It's very hard. It really, really is when things like this happen. Some of you may not understand it because you're just young and you've never done it before, and you feel like, oh, I should do something with my boyfriend or girlfriend, and you send photos, inappropriate photos or whatever. Eventually photos like that will go to the wrong person, and it will go against you. It will be aimed against you, just like it did with me. And that, people, is called revenge porn. And I will ask you this: if you are going through that, do not fight back. Keep away from her or him, because it will make things worse. What I will do, what you can do, is report it to the police. And that's all I can say. We're in a world that technology is evolving every day. And every day, things can get reported on the internet. Things can get very seriously bad at times. And there's been a lot of things on the internet that does happen every single day in the UK, even the world for a start. And it's very serious because it can really ruin your life, like a lot. And it nearly ruined mine. And like I say, I lost a lot of respect with my family back then. My family didn't look at me in the eye. It was very hard. I didn't want to be a part of that situation anymore. I wanted to be away from the whole of it. But the only thing that pushed me away was the fact that everything was happening all at once. So, what I will ask you again is that I just want you guys to understand that this heated situation can happen anytime to anybody, just like me. So please, if you're still watching now, I just want you guys to understand that. Probably might not even get many views. Thanks for watching.